Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Neo65 Sonic HE from Qwertykeys. This is their newest 65% Hall effect keyboard, and let's get into the review. So in the box you get a black carrying case. That is the box the keyboard will come in, and in the carrying case you'll get a basic keycap and switch puller, and you'll get a special fancy one. It is one of the better ones I've used. I don't know why they include two, but why not? You'll also get this cable that is connected to my keyboard right now. It's just a basic black cable. In terms of specs with this board, it will have 8K polling. The 8K polling is not adjustable. You will have to use 8K. I would like them to add a setting where you can use 1K, 4K. Also, in terms of latency, they claim it's 0.125. And then there's rapid trigger and SOCD. The rapid trigger only goes down to 0.5, not 0.1 like keyboards like the Venom. In terms of the case, this is a really premium cold to the touch full aluminum case with a really nice brass weight on it. This is one of my favorite cases I've ever had on a keyboard. It's just a nice, super premium feeling case with a good sound profile. It does come with a carbon fiber plate, which is going to feel very nice, sound very nice and premium. This keyboard also does have some flex, though with the carbon fiber plate, some cheaper switches I have noticed aren't going to sound as good, but when you have nicer, better switches, you will get a really nice sound profile. And then the USB-C switch is in the center, which I personally prefer on keyboards, but that is preference. In terms of switches, this keyboard does come with the Owl Labs Nova switches. And at first, I heard some criticism. People didn't like them. I personally like them. In this keyboard specifically, they sound very similar to the Owl Lab TIs, just slightly different. I personally enjoyed using them. They're not the best switch I've ever used, but they're probably my third favorite in terms of feel. They're very light, they feel good, and they sound decent, so there's nothing wrong with this switch. If you buy this keyboard, you won't have to swap the switches. The overall sound profile is pretty good, especially if you're using higher end switches. And the typing feel, since this does have some flex, as I mentioned before, the typing feel is definitely on the better side for an Hall effect keyboard. In terms of stabs, you have clip-in stabilizers. I'm pretty sure this does not support screw-in. The overall stabilizers, they're not the best. They don't tick or anything. They just sound pretty hollow. Like like you'll see in the full sound test, they sound different. They sound decent, but they still sound pretty cheap. They're not horrible. They're okay, but I would like to see better stabilizers included next time. In terms of stock keycaps, I'll show you them for a second. The ones on my board are not the stock ones. They are these black transparent keycaps. They are not double shot. They are not the greatest quality ever. They are similar to the ones in the Hex. I did see a lot of people complaining about these, but for the price this board is at, for what you get with the case, the performance, and everything else, I do think these are acceptable quality. They aren't that bad. The keycaps I currently have on my board right now are also the same quality. I think they're decent, they're usable, and if you like the font, they're fine. You'll see them better in the sound test. So the web software is definitely also on the better side. It is probably the second best web software I've ever used after the Venom. I have not tried Wootings, by the way, but let's get into in-game performance and responsiveness. I will show a screenshot on screen from another YouTuber's testing against other boards, where this board in terms of latency comes in pretty much at one of the top 5 keyboards. This is one of the best in terms of performance and in-game, and in terms of responsiveness, I would have to agree. This thing is really good. I will say I did compare this last night. I was using this in the Venom, switching off between rounds, and the Venom does feel slightly more responsive, and the SOCD feels slightly better, probably because of the Venom focus key settings, but this is still one of the best, one of the most responsive Hall effect keyboards I've ever tried. But if you do have a Venom, this might feel a tad worse. In terms of price, this comes in at $125 on their website and $135 on Divinkey. Wherever you buy it from, it's going to end up between $145 and $155 after shipping if you are in the US. So overall, for this price of around $150, would I recommend this? So if you already have a really nice premium Hall effect keyboard like the GT60 or the Venom or maybe a Wooting 88G, then you really don't need this. But if you're coming from an older board, you're enthusiast, you like trying things, or you're still on mech, this is probably the best time to get a Hall effect keyboard. This is my favorite Hall effect pre-built I've tried. It's just a really good layout. The case is amazing, and I just didn't really have any issues with this board, so I can just easily recommend this. and I really don't think you'll have to change out the switches and keycaps like a lot of others have said. They aren't the best, but for this price, they're really good, and I could have used the keyboards. I can use the keyboard stock continuously without a problem. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave you off with the sound test.